Keith Balling back with another video. So the streets is saying that Glorilla got arrested earlier this week, man, and all the headlines say for serious drug charges and arrested in Georgia for possession of controlled substances. So all of it make it sound very serious. Now, she did have a 22K bond. She was released the same day after she made bond, but I think the messed up part was the only reason she got arrested was because the authorities was called to her home after a break-in and robbery attempt. So you had burglars trying to rob her, right? And police get there and they looking around and they sitting up there. They got a drone and a canine search for the intruders. And then they detected a strong odor consistent with illegal narcotics. And so they then secured a search warrant, and a significant amount of marijuana was found both in plain view and in the master bedroom closet. Glorilla, she wasn't home at the time, but it does say she was charged with felony possession of marijuana and possession of a Schedule 1 controlled substance. So it's two substances, and they're not telling us what that second substance is. You know, probably the C word, maybe some kind of pill. I don't know. I don't know, but it's just messed up because Glorilla, she out of town doing whatever she do. Maybe at the studio. Maybe in the streets, whatever she doing. I don't know. With one of her dudes, I don't know, but she got a break-in attempt going on at the crib while she's away. Police come in, and now they get a search warrant for her, an arrest warrant for her. They go book her, and she was the one that was going to be the victim of being burglarized. So it's just sad how she got caught up in this situation. She should be able to get out of this, depending on how serious this thing is. And the police, this is what they said. The sheriff, he said, the homeowner is a victim of a serious crime, and we are committed to bringing the suspects to justice. At the same time, we must continue to uphold and enforce the law in all aspects of this case. So, I mean, I guess that's fair. I mean, if somebody break into your home and you got some bullshit going on that you doing, yeah, you're a victim of burglary, but you also got some bullshit going on, and we got to see what's going on. It's just a little unfair, because to be honest with you, if they wouldn't have never tried to break in, shit, she wouldn't have got caught up. But anyway, she was arrested, and right now, what I'm wondering, what was that other drug? What is that controlled substance that she was dealing with, man? I hope it's not one of the C words. I hope it ain't no pills, man. And I just wish some of these artists backed away from some of these drugs. I wasn't tripping about the marijuana. I mean, I already know a lot of rappers use marijuana. A lot of everyday people use marijuana. Hell, I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, I was a user of marijuana for a long time and I cut it out. But that controlled substance and all this other stuff, it's not good, man. It's not good. And depending on how serious it is, she could be looking at a little time or she might get some kind of probation. But rappers be setting themselves back with all these drugs and they be having weapons. And the police are going to try to pick on y'all because they know y'all got money so y'all could afford to do more bullshit. So just got to be careful, man. Even having certain things in your house is, a little dangerous. You might want to keep it in a certain spot to where it's hidden if you're gonna have it. I recommend not having it at all. But hey, I know people need their weed, need their drink. Hopefully don't need that white stuff, but certain people do. And so yeah, Glorilla, she got arrested, locked up earlier this week. And I guess the people found out a couple days later or however much long later. And now all the blogs is going crazy with it. But her mug shot was going around, and I had one of my homeboys. He talking about this is a top 3 mug shot of all time. I'm like, man, y'all strange, man. Motherfuckers obsessing over a mug shot. That's just weird to me, man. I don't really, I'm not really into the jail girlies, but you know, I'm sure she looked better in other pictures outside of a mug shot. But anyway, that ain't the point. The point is, I hope Glorilla's doing good. I hope she wasn't on that white stuff or no type of pills or nothing like that, because that stuff can take your life, man. That stuff is no joke. You can only get away with doing that consistently for a short amount of time before you gonna OD or something's gonna happen, or you gonna get caught with it, get locked up. Something's gonna happen. You know, you're gonna suffer from a terrible addiction. Start looking weird. Things start happening to your body. So if I was her, I'd just stick with the weed. And even that, they can still book you for that. Now, I thought weed was becoming legal everywhere, but apparently not. Now that weed is becoming legal everywhere, police still gonna find a way to try to get at you, because they're gonna say, "Oh, you can only have so much at a time." So, it's just a lot of BS that goes on with the whole weed thing. You gonna make it legal, but then you gonna be policing how much I have. It's legal though. It's legal. If you don't have proof I'm selling it or anything like that, you can't sit up here and can't charge me with nothing, something that's legal. So they're gonna keep putting in laws and stuff to try to still get people for weed, which I don't agree with. But that controlled substance shit, we got to get to the bottom of that. We got to figure out what that was, man. Glorilla, don't go down that road, man. You hot right now. You making good music. Everybody rocking with you. You got to keep your nose clean or whatever it is. Keep your head clear. Blow that weed at night at the end of the day, just to relax. But outside of that, man, don't keep all that shit in your crib. Now you rich, you gonna do what you want to do. But I'm just trying to keep rappers out of jail, man, because y'all be having talent, y'all be having influence, and then it all goes away from a few minor mistakes that could have been avoided. So, a lot of people made a big deal out of this. Glorilla getting locked up. Personally, it shouldn't be that serious, but the headlines made it look crazy. They like, oh, it's serious drug charges. That made it look like she had pounds of that C word, that cocaina. That's what they made it look like. I'm like, damn, Glow. Yeah, Glow. That's what they made it seem like. But turns out it was a fuck ton of weed and another substance. Now, once we find out what that substance is, then we can determine how serious everything is. But she did receive a bond, was able to bond out. That's good. And hopefully, when she go to court for this, things don't turn out to be that serious. Maybe she got to pay a fine. Hopefully, there's no jail time involved, and hopefully, she can sweep this under the rug and get past this, because that's the last thing we want to see, man. Is some of these figures getting all this money, all this success, got popularity, fame, influence, getting locked up. We ain't trying to see that. We ain't trying to see that, man. So hopefully everything's all good. But I want to get you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. What you think about Glorilla getting locked up? They said she had pounds of that loud and a controlled substance that is unknown at this point. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts and opinions, man. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everybody that's listening. And I'm out of here, man. I'm gone. Peace.